And good Tuesday morning from Scotty, Ray, and Candace as we roll into a day. Lots of news going on. We'll talk about a few things that are coming up in a few moments. So what you been planning today?
Not much today. Yesterday I spent all day doctors and just
Fun stuff.
trying to catch up on little things I needed to get done.
And a month later, you get 12,000 bills.
I'm not looking forward to that.
But you know, you never get just one bill.
Right.
Hey, I went here and they send you. It's
I know.
each
You
department.
saw this person read this, and that one discussed it with them, and everybody just hit your bill.
And so the old trick of paying $5 a month, you can't do anymore because you'd still be up to $120 off of one visit.
Yeah, and a lot of times, I guess people use other companies now to do their billing.
Yeah,
it's
they
not like you
outsource
can
it.
just call and speak to somebody locals about stuff. But that's what I did, though. Just spent all day running errands and catching up on stuff.
I'm gonna try to get started ready for deer season. I've been kind of slacked on the matter. I got to get on the ball. I hadn't done anything yet.
Yeah, my husband did a little bush hogging today at the house. We have a deer field behind the house that he planted last year, and it's just fun because
you get to watch.
We get to watch them come eat and stuff. But he was just talking about that he needs to get busy.
I'm like, I should have some corn out by now, and nothing so far.
Yeah. Everything has to be bush hogged, and then you got to plant and till
Get rid of
it
the
and plant
wasp.
it. Right. The wasp. Oh my goodness! Last year we moved. I went with him to move a shoot house.
Yeah.
And just right below the shoot house was this hole that had a yellow jacket nest.
Holy cow, that's the bad kind.
Oh my goodness! The nest was this big.
Did y'all
was
kill it or
huge.
leave them?
Yeah, he sprayed it and killed the yellow jackets. But when he dug down in there, we saw just how big it was. I'm just thankful that because our little one, he was with us, So it's anyway.
You got to watch that stuff when you're out doing that. Seriously, that's no kidding. They'll pop you in a heartbeat.
That and rattlesnakes.
Whoa!
I have seen more people see rattlesnakes this year, and we had one in our yard.
Did y'all kill it?
Yeah, he killed it. And then he was on the job one day, and he has to walk, outside on the job sometimes to look at poles and stuff. And just right over by where he was, he just happened to see a different pattern in the leaves. I don't know how he did it because he didn't hear any rattles or anything.
Yeah, you can step on one in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and beat it with a log.
Scared
no gun. You can't have.
He didn't do the dance.
No, I don't know. I'm sure.
Because we all know that dance.
Yeah.
When you think you fist to step on one.
Oh yeah. He said. That it scared him.
Yeah, to make you squeal like a girl.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly his words. And I said, you've got to get some snake chaps or some snake boots or something, because
it's well worth the money.
Right.
This time of year,
careful.
anyway. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at your forecast today to find out what's going to really be going on. I'll give you a hint. Hot. That's right around the corner.
And muggy.
Yes. And then we'll tell you some stories and things that are going on nationwide. That's all up and coming with Scotty, Ray, and Candace. Well, the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has got some great savings for you this week on specials like, grapes. You can get the white or red seedless for $1.99 a pound. You can also take advantage of those California strawberries, 2 for $5. You can get those in the 1-pound clamshell. Also, the russet potatoes are $3.99 for the 8-pound bag. Always use potato around the house, can't you? Also, you can take advantage of the Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. You can get the 18-ounce bottle this week for $2 for $3. Now, these specials will be good through the end of today. The chicken noodle soup or tomato soup, you can get the 16-ounce 7.5 can for only 79 cents. Chicken noodles just always good. I know it's always thought of when you're sick, but it's just good to have one every once in a while. Also, you can get the Nilla wafers, $2.99 for that 11-ounce box. Also, the coffee, if you're running low on that, $2.79 for the ground coffee and the 11.5-ounce bag. And boneless, skinless chicken tenders. Chicken tenders just good anytime. $2.99 a pound. You can take advantage of the ribeye steaks. Who doesn't like to cook out and have a great steak? Well, the Piggly Wiggly's got them for you. $11.99 for the family pack on a pound. Also, you can take the pork loin roast, boneless, $1.49 a pound. So many deals to take advantage of. The 12-pack, 12-ounce cans of Coca-Cola products, always 2 for $9. That's all at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. Drop in and see Joe. He'll save you some money, and you'll be extremely glad that you did. Shopping with some friendly folks. I'm telling you, they're good. If you hadn't ever shopped with Joe today, change your plans. Stop going to these big box stores and visit Joe. He'll certainly make you glad that you did. As we shift to look at the weather, Today is going to be extremely hot. I know it was warm yesterday, but today it goes a step further. As we look at what the National Weather Service tells us, that we're now in a level 1 in the Meridian area, which means 105 plus. As you go across toward Jackson, it gets warmer. But our area, this is one of those where you're outside before you know it, you're too hot and it's too late. So take it easy with what you got to do outside. Take plenty of fluids with you. And, of course, always, don't get sunburned. My heavens, it's hot out there. Think of the pets, too. As we look at what's going on with the storms to watch over the next few days, we have had another storm form that's just right off the coast here on the eastern coast. It is now named Tropical Storm 15. This will be the next one to watch here. This is not going to pose any threat as we look at our next one. It's going to go on off and not touch any land, which is great news, but it is still something to watch. It is a tropical storm now, and most likely will become, I think it's Nana is going to be its name, so something to think on. As we turn to our forecast today, and let's pull up radar now so that everybody can take a look at that and see what's going on nationwide. As we do that, we've got a fog advisory in the northeastern part of the state up by Tupelo going into Jackson, Tennessee. We've got showers out of here around Oklahoma City. Pretty rough stuff there in Fayetteville, Arkansas, Fort Smith. And this is our heat advisory that we've got today that stretches all the way back down to Corpus Christi. Warm stuff there. As we look at our forecast and what the National Weather Service tells us, we do have a 30% chance of showers today, mainly in those afternoon hours between maybe 1:30, 1:45 to about 6 o'clock this afternoon. Heat index should hit 103. That's warm. 92 for the high. So warm stuff. Tonight it'll decrease to a 20% chance of showers. 73 for our low. We're back tomorrow. High heat index of 100 tomorrow. With that temperature reaching 93. No mention of rain tomorrow for the first time. Slight chance on Thursday, high of 94. And we'll end the week with a 30% chance of showers. But what we'll watch today is that 30% chance of rain today with that heat index being extremely hot out there. So be careful what you're doing. Keep in mind what's going on with this heat index. It's just hot all the way around here through the deep south. So something to think on. Be sure of what you're doing. So watch all that before you go outside. Coming up, we'll tell you a few headlines that are going on nationwide as Candace will come back and join me here in just a few moments here with Scotty Ray's Weather.
During these challenging times, there are some things that you can count on every day. One of them is that Rick Justice Automotive will work hard to help you find just the right vehicle. Rick Justice has late model, low mileage vehicles and 72-month, 72,000-mile warranties available on all vehicles. Come see us today, and we'll show you how we've been helping your friends and relatives find the car, truck, or SUV that was right for them. We will earn your business.
And welcome back. There's lots going on today. We'll talk about Trump. He's making a big visit today where they don't want him, believe that or not.
Right.
Yeah. That's around the corner. And you brought this up, so we looked it up. There's a lot of towns that, kind of let people take over.
Yeah.
Maybe burn their police station. Well, it's not so much in Florida, is it?
No, it is not. And I don't think it'd go over too well here in Mississippi either.
No, it wouldn't. But this was from a press conference yesterday. Is it Polk County, Florida?
Yes. Uh-huh.
All right, let's pull this up because this is the sheriff of the county talking about what's going on there. And he says there's talk about some people that want to start looting. And
he didn't give a specific group. He just said people.
Yeah.
So I guess just people in general, if they have any kind of idea about doing what he's fixing to say, then he gives them a hint of what's going to go down.
All right.
We have received information in social media that some of the criminals were going to take their criminal conduct into the neighborhoods. I would tell them if you value your life, you probably shouldn't do that in Polk County, because the people of Polk County like guns. They have guns. I encourage them to own guns, and they're going to be in their homes tonight with their guns loaded. And if you try to break into their homes to steal, to set fires, I'm highly recommending they blow you back out of the house with their guns.
Now, he didn't hold back.
No, he didn't. He kind of just dropped that right there and just went straight to the point, didn't he?
Yeah, if you had more law enforcement officers tell it how it really is, I think a lot of this would stop.
Yeah. I mean, because if you don't discourage it, you're encouraging it.
You go back to the Japanese, why didn't they go inland?
Right.
That was the very reason. Too many people in America had guns and they knew it and they were scared.
Like I said, I don't think that would go over too well here in
Ooh, absolutely
Mississippi.
not. People
Really anywhere in the South, I don't think. But
yeah, the South would not put up with it. And there's, and surprisingly, there's really more what I would call Southerners in other states. They have the same way of thinking that we do. They just accidentally live in the wrong place.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I guess, but like you said, if you don't tell people that this is what's going to happen to you and give them some kind of a fear about what's going to happen to them, then they're going to go ahead and do it.
You're absolutely right.
I don't know. Take your medicine.
Well, it's kind of like that. Yeah, that's that line in the sand. If you ever draw a line and you don't step up to it and you say, if you cross this, I'm going to do such and such, and you don't, it's over for you. It's like the bully on the playground when you're a kid. If he threatens you and you don't stop it, he's going to take your lunch every day.
Well, that's what I've always told my kids, deal with it head on. Don't let somebody push you around, because the more you do, the more they're going to.
Yeah.
When they get that one little, up on you, then they're going to keep doing it. So.
Just like when you're a teenager dating an old girl, if you give her just a little bit too much, she's going to run the relationship.
Well, I can't argue that. I guess that's right.
We all kind of know that's how that works out. As we start looking at a few things that are going on across America, and this really relates to what he was saying there, the sheriff there, of will politicians let your city burn? Will they step up to the plate and say it's not going to happen?
Right.
I think in the Deep South, for the most part, they would. Now, there are towns that are questionable that are run by they don't seem to toe the mark. Maybe is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, and I think Trump has said a lot of things about democratically ran cities.
Yeah.
But there's some Democrats who are for Trump.
Yeah, and
I've seen it.
The American way. There's one that endorsed him, a mayor, and she's a Democrat, and she endorsed him because they don't want their town tore up.
Right, but there is a lot though. Like we said, they will not say anything, and they just let this go on, just like the one in Oregon.
Yeah, and what was it? Joe spoke yesterday for the first time. He crawled out of the basement.
He did, and I'm not sure exactly how much water, what he said, how much it holds water,
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm trying to say. But, it was all about against Trump and how he's ran the country down. This is what I don't understand, though.
Tell
I know
me.
we've got a story to go to, but I don't understand how they think that Trump is to blame for the coronavirus. I don't really know why they keep blaming Trump for how bad it's gotten, how it continually gets worse, how people are dying. And because he's done everything he can.
What they're trying to say, I think, is say that he didn't do enough, that if he'd acted faster. And of course, if you go back, he put the ban on travel, and they were going, oh, you can't do that, you're racist.
Oh, yeah. It was xenophobic, and I don't even know what that means really much, but I think it's crazy. They come up with words I've never even heard, but anyway, I just think it's ridiculous that they keep on harping on that issue, because this is something that nobody has control over. You can do the best you can.
Yes.
And I understand they're probably talking about the side of it where he had, should have done something sooner and stuff.
Well, no one knew what it was.
Right.
If we would all step back and face this not as a Democrat or a Republican or an independent, but as Americans, and work together to solve the problem faster instead of throwing obstacles to this group or that group to make them stumble.
And laying the blame on one person is crazy, because really with this whole issue, China, to me, is more to blame than anybody.
Absolutely. That's where it come from.
And there's it's just a lot of information out there that...
And do I think, was that purposely thrown into the United States? Yeah, I think there was a group that wanted that done. I don't know what the group is, but I think they wanted to harm America for our economy, places that we've put tariffs on these other countries. They wanted to destroy us.
Right.
And what better way to do it within? And
I wholeheartedly believe that this virus was in America long before we started even knowing about it. I really do, because back in January, there were so many people getting sick, and they would test negative for flu and negative for strep. And nobody knew why everybody was getting sick, so who knows,
Yeah, a lot of truth to that.
Yeah. I just think you can't blame one person for this.
No, we
just hope it gets better.
And again, if we work together strictly as Americans, drop the politics. That's what we hope. So my next question for you, Candace, did you ever camp out as a kid?
No.
Did you stay outside any?
Oh, I mean, I stayed outside all day long when
No,
we
I'm talking about
when
at
we were
night.
kids.
You know,
No, I did not.
Campfire
Sleep.
thing.
Tents were not. No.
Now, we did it a lot as kids. And I remember me and Jimmy Earl Thomas, and a lot of folks know him from Kemper County, but me and him were coming back from a camp out. And we're tooling along in his little Toyota truck about 70 miles an hour. And lo and behold, here it comes down the side of the truck over there by the window. A snake slithers out from behind the seat. And, you know, of course, we like to wreck, slide sideways, all up trying to get out the truck.
Oh, yeah. I would, too. I'd probably have a heart attack. I hate snakes. I hate them.
But we go to Russia for this, and I really am having trouble believing the story. Now, they're reporting this actually happened, and we've got video of it. This lady supposedly fell asleep outside, and a snake slid in her mouth. Now, on top of it, how could you not feel that?
Well, I mean, I can hear footsteps. I sleep so light that I can hear somebody, just somebody walking, my little boy walking up next to the bed. I wake up. So, no, I could never have a snake crawl down my throat.
And it's 4 foot long, and it's fully in her mouth. And she goes to the doctor. And if you're scared of snakes, you might want to do the finger watching thing here for a second here. But let's look at this. They're getting ready to take it out. So, do you believe it?
I don't know. I mean,
that's on YouTube is where we found the story. It's broadcast in a lot of different news stories, but I found the video actually on YouTube and played it from there.
I don't see how that's possible, but I guess it could be. Now, I've heard of like stuff getting down in people's ears, and that grosses me out. Like, I watch these shows. Do you ever watch those shows on TV where they
Dr.
take,
Pimple Popper?
Oh yeah, we watch that. Don't tell me. I mean, like, don't tell me that is. Nobody has seen that. I know you probably have.
Oh, I have to watch it.
Why? I sit there and watch it.
It's
and I don't even know
fascination.
why. It's so nasty. But like, yeah, I've seen where they remove bugs.
Oh yeah.
All kind of stuff from people's
People
ears.
got more issues than you think they do after you watch her.
I just couldn't. No, I'm a camper in a camper, not a tent.
How could you not suffocate from that? You know, because that's just my thinking.
Well, that's what I would think too. Like
How could you not gag or choke to death on that? Because that.
Well, you don't have 4 feet from your mouth to your stomach. Like, where was the thing? Even if they had a 4-foot snake in her.
Because the video, if you'll watch that, it shows it coming out of her mouth, but the whole thing, I don't know. I don't know, but they're saying it's true is all I can tell you. But that's just gross. Now, I have heard numerous times here in America of people sitting on the toilet and the snake be in the plumbing and come up through the septic tank into the toilet and bite them on the rear end.
Oh.
So think about that next time you sit down.
That's great. Go in the bathroom in the middle of the night, don't cut the light on, and boop. Yeah, that'd be awful.
And it's usually moccasins that love to get in that. Just to put that in your thought.
I've heard of people having snakes in their house. As a matter of fact, my stepson, look, they had a snake in their house under the sink. And it was after he had like a mouse in his house or something. It had the mouse, like, I think it was trying to get it in its mouth, but it was under the sink. Now, this is in New Mexico, so they have scorpions and all kind of stuff out there, and humongous spiders.
Ooh.
Needless to say, needless to say, I will not be moving to New Mexico.
Well, I mean, snakes, they can slither down and slide up underneath the door of your house. Easy. Any crack, they can just kind of flatten and go through. Maybe that's how he got in her mouth, flattened out and went on right on in there.
I don't know, but I've heard of people getting like tapeworms too.
Oh, yeah.
And just all that just grosses me out.
I could not be. Hey, I respect you, doctors. That's all I'm going to say.
That's exactly right.
I could not do what you do. As we go to this next story, folks, let me tell you something. If you've taken a picture that maybe you wouldn't want your mama to see or anybody like that, tear your phone up. Do not leave it somewhere and have it worked on or traded in.
Yeah, I often wondered when people trade their phones in, like, how trustworthy these people are.
Now, we go to Florida with this. He was the manager, and it doesn't say which network, and I'm not going to guess on that. But he was the manager of a store, and it was a celebrity that came in, and the boyfriend of the celebrity that had some compromising, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Photos? I don't know.
I think it was an actual video of
Oh, okay, yeah.
something, yeah.
You just use your imagination.
Yeah, use imagination there. And then he liked it so much, he started sharing it with friends after he had taped it from the phone. And somebody knew the lady that got a copy of it.
Oh, my goodness.
And then they found more.
He doesn't have black eyes. I'm surprised in that picture.
So just a warning there. If you've got something on your phone, you might better to just handle that yourself.
Yeah, just keep the phone. Don't turn it in.
Now, up until a few minutes ago today, as a matter of fact, early this morning before you came in, I have never actually looked at TikTok. Have you?
I don't have that on my phone. My kids, I think they do, and they watch. And every now and then I'll catch a little snippet of a video,
But basically, they do video and music to 10 to 20 seconds worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody posts it that way, and instead of like Twitter and Facebook to where it's just, information. But they do these. Do you remember the coronavirus challenge to where the lady goes in a toilet and licks it?
No, but that's just ignorant.
Yeah, and that's what she
Fair,
done. And lo and behold, she got the coronavirus after licking a public toilet seat.
And probably all kind of other things.
Yeah. Now, and this is the latest thing, and people are dying from it. It's the TikTok Benadryl challenge.
People are so hungry for fame in any kind of way, especially young kids and teenagers. They think this is cool, and it's not cool. I mean, this is like
death.
Yeah,
there ain't no coming back from it.
That's right.
But she overdosed on Benadryl, and what they're trying to do with this thing is you take enough Benadryl, it makes you imagine things because it is a drug.
Yeah.
When you're sick.
I know it makes you drowsy.
Yeah.
So.
But she took half a dozen of them at one time, and it killed a 15-year-old. And I want to say there's been 2 or 3 others that have died from this. If it's there's
They'll be
all
putting
types.
that behind the counter from now on.
Yeah.
You won't be able to get it on the shelf, just like some of the other things.
So explain to the young.
That's right.
Because you see it on social media doesn't make it right. And I know sometimes that's hard to get across to kids.
Oh, I know.
Sometimes
Yeah,
it's
they
hard to
think
get
a lot
across
of
to your
them
spouse when they see a sale and they go buy and buy. Just saying.
I would not know.
Oh, really?
I'm not a big spender, though. I'm not.
Okay.
So.
Who's driving your car?
Well, that's different.
Oh.
That's a vehicle.
So you could have drove
But-
one older.
Well, I did for a
Right.
long time. It had 215,000 miles on it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I
You
said I
should've
was going to drive it till the wheels fell off, but we need something a little bit bigger for trips and stuff. So.
Sure. See, she'd come up with an excuse is what I'm hearing here. As we look at this is going to be happening today. Some people love it. Some people don't. I think it's right. The president has loaded up Air Force One, and he has headed to Wisconsin.
Right.
The National Guard is there, and as I mentioned, they're going to clean the streets before he walks down it. It will not be some, I'm just going to use that word that some people don't like, thugs on street corners where he's going. They will take them out. The Secret Service will not put up with it. But it is good that the commander-in-chief will go visit a place that has been torn apart by people trying to fix it. That's
But
my
they
opinion.
don't want him to go.
No, they
don't
don't.
want him there now because they know that he's going to do something about it.
He sure is.
And that'll make him look even better if he does succeed.
And Joe Biden, and if you've reading any of the polls that are out there, they never commented on that, not one time from what I understand, during the Democrat National Convention about the violence and this, that, and the other. Whether you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, you own a business, that's how you make your living. People come in, they buy from you. Having people come burn your stuff just because you have insurance does not fix the problem. There are so many more. You can't rebuild that.
To me, as a parent, as a taxpayer, as just a citizen of the United States, you want to know that the president of the United States is going to take care of the people.
Whether it's a Democrat or a Republican,
Doesn't
it doesn't
matter what color you are. Doesn't matter what you do, what you have. It doesn't matter. You want to know that you and your family are going to be taken care of. And I don't mean financially taken care of because
safety.
Safety and safe. That's his job, and that to me is what he's tried to do.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody running for president that has not even mentioned the violence, what does that tell you? I mean, that speaks volumes.
Now they're trying to come out now and say, "Oh, whoa." They're trying to because they realize now that people don't want it.
Yeah. I don't know why they would have thought they'd ever wanted it to begin with, but
It's shocking. It truly is. I never in my lifetime would have thought that I could turn on the news and look at cities in America and it looked like Iran. I never thought that.
It's sad. It's sad because, you know, a lot of these cities worked hard to get to where they were.
Yeah.
And it's just gone. It can be gone overnight.
When you go back and look at Katrina, you go through parts of New Orleans that never got rebuilt because of Katrina. That's what happens with these riots. Those people can't rebuild. They can't, and communities lose little stores and mom and pop things, or big chain stores that just aren't going to invest the money to go back somewhere where they're going to lose again.
And it's just not just the violence and stuff that's going on where people are hurting. You know, all these hurricane victims and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I watched a video the other day of a man. I don't know if you saw that. I shared it on my Facebook page if anybody went to my page and looked. But it was a man talking about how a lot of people, he was standing in front of his home that was just destroyed. And he was in tears talking. I don't know if he was a preacher or exactly, but you could tell that he had a strong faith. And he was talking about how a lot of people say, oh, it's just a house. You can rebuild it. It's just a house. And he said, but it's more than just a house. It's a place where we lay, you know, we laid in our beds at night and we dreamed of this house. This was our dreams. And then he talked about how there was a window in the house that he could have fixed, but it reminded him of the broken window, of the window that got broken from a son playing baseball in the yard.
Right. So he
it's
kept
like,
it.
right. These people have lost so much more, and there's people who are sick in this world, and everybody's hurting in some kind of way.
Absolutely.
And the president, I think, has done a good job about mentioning everything, you know,
Yeah.
and touching base on everything. So if we don't do anything else, I think we need to praise him for that.
Yeah.
You know?
A little
So,
prayer can't hurt our country either.
that's right.
And another thing, my wife was gone for an entire week, and I was left at home to fend for myself. And I've been trying to make up in my eating habits this week since I didn't have nothing last week.
Did you cook?
No, I can't.
can't?
Nothing. I mean, I can do eggs. That's it.
Okay.
That me and the dogs celebrated some eggs together.
Okay. So what'd you do? Eat chips?
I drove to every fast food restaurant there was that I could
Okay.
drive to.
Okay.
Got sick of it.
Yeah. Yeah, you need a home cooked meal. I'm sure Angie's going to take care of you.
I love home cooking. You know what my favorite absolute thing? I could butter beans and corn. I think I could just make a living, eat off that all the time. I never tire of that.
You know, and I think all the time about my grandmother and my mother. We always had home cooked vegetables and cornbread and
Yeah.
all this stuff. And my mother worked a lot of my younger life, you know. And so she was also a hairdresser. But I think, like, how did they do it?
I'm thinking, what happened to you?
You know, I do cook, but it's like 8 or 9 o'clock at night when we're
Yeah.
eating. You know, after I get off work and go home and try to get things done, you got homework for kids, and it's just crazy. But
It is.
you know, I do love the home cooked meals. and
That's
stuff.
the best you can get out there.
I know it is. And like we were saying too earlier, I know I'm just rambling, but I have to tell you this.
What you got to tell me?
Do y'all ever think about, especially with the times like they are now, how everything is just chaotic? Do you ever think back, because I do a lot of times, of when, like, something that triggers something from your childhood, and you
Oh,
think
yeah.
about how good it was and how safe you felt and everything. Do you ever have anything
Well,
like
you know,
that?
I'll pass the S&H Green store where it used to be in Meridian, up by where, was it Big Star? Yeah, it was right next to the Big Star. And it reminded me, I was 5, and we had saved up enough S&H Green stamps to get my first bike. And what a neat story. Every time I pass by there, it pops in my head, because that was a big deal to me.
Oh, yeah, I remember when you would get the little, I guess it's kind of the same thing, the stamps to where they had the dishes at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And, you know, my grandmother wanted every one of them so she'd have a full set, you know.
Yeah.
And
remember that.
just stuff like that. But just even smells. The other day, I think we were cooking something in the house, and I said, this smells just like my grandmother's house when I'd walk in, because she would have something cooked. But
Yeah.
it's just that warm feeling. You know, I miss that.
Oh,
I
and
do.
you know, like a loved one that used to wear, especially ladies that wore a particular perfume that when you walk in a room, somebody's got it on, it makes you think of them.
Right. My grandmother wore beautiful. I'll never, you know, the Estee Lauder perfume, and every time I smell somebody with that on, like, it reminds me of her. So, you know, but I just like thinking about good things every now and then.
Yeah, it doesn't
you
hurt.
know, to take away from all this stress from the bad things. You know, so.
Think, who reminds you of burnt cornbread? Think about that a minute.
Look, this is a running joke in my house because I don't care what I'm cooking except for cornbread. I always burn the bread.
Ooh.
My kid's like, Mama burnt the bread again. You walk in and smell the, like, rolls or whatever, I'm always going to burn the bread. I don't know what
Because you
it is.
walk off and you get to doing something
or
else.
I
And
get
that's
to talking and I'm like, oh my God, the bread.
You talk? No, I couldn't believe that.
But
We'd like to say thank you for you dropping by today and spending a little time with us. We appreciate that. We'll have more updates. We'll watch the weather, and I'll do a recap of the weather coming up next with Scotty, Ray, and Candace.
Sanders Gas, Sanders Air and Heat is your full-service propane supplier since 1946. We take pride in ensuring reliable, friendly service to our customers. We also provide safety tune-ups related to propane, air conditioning, and heating systems, keeping our community efficient and safe. I'm Chuck Sanders, and yes, we're local.
As we go back to recap your weather again today, as we pull up radar this morning, again to show what's going on with that. Just basically nothing in our area right now. East Mississippi, West Central Alabama, all the storms lie to our northwest. Our forecast does call for hot weather today with a 30% chance. One of these afternoon showers popping up somewhere between 1:45 to 6 o'clock. So let's call it 2 to 6 in that time frame. Heat index is going to be 103, just almost downright unbearable for today. High is going to reach 92. Tonight you'll get down to 73. We're not quite where we want to be into the 60s yet. This morning, right now, it is 77 as you're getting your day started. So that tells us this early how warm it's going to be. Hot stuff in store. So keep it in mind. That's kind of a recap of what we've got going on. Slight chances through the week. Our next big one after today will be on Friday with a 30% chance of showers. So a quick look at what's going on with that. So we'll always keep you updated with what it is and let you know when it turns bad. Next thing I wanted to talk about was my friends out at Freeman Tractor. If you hadn't been there in a while to see my guys, drop in and see them. Of course, they'll take care of you. Steve, bend over backwards to help you if he could bend over. Okay, Freeman Tractor. See them today if you're needing a lawnmower. Is that sometimes your lawnmower just doesn't quite make it all the way through the year. And if yours has reached that, see them today. They got some great deals into the year closeouts on some of these lawnmowers that'll take care of you from Exmark, Skaggs, great mowers. Complete line of tractors as we get ready for deer season to take care of the need that you've got. Any implement that may be on your future. If you're needing to fix your driveway and it's got lumps, you got a dirt road, Get you one of these. It'll certainly smooth it out. Get you a box blade. They'll show you which one is right for your tractor. And of course, bush hogs. As we move into deer season, if you work cows, if you work outside during the winter, you want to stay warm. The Benchy is the latest to come with the new option. They've got it 0% for 60 months. Go by and see this to where you can get air conditioning and heating with these. Great. No longer will you get wet. You'll be inside. Because there's nothing worse than riding along and it's flooding and you know how that sideways rain comes in. Well, this will stop all this. Got doors, air conditioning, heating. See them today for the different models that you can choose from. Automatics, easy to use. GPSs on these. They're made in Texas, the Benchy. And then, of course, they've got customers that's already bought them that you can call and say, hey, how do you like it? They'll show you around, let you talk to somebody that owns one. That's always a good sign. Many styles and different colors to choose from. Drop by today. It's Freeman Tractor. You can take a left off Highway 19. Drive to you see that sign on the right that says Freeman Implement. They'll help you out there and get you all going there. Again, I'd like to say thank you for dropping by today and being a part of Scotty Ray's Weather. Always a great thing. And for watching me and Candace, we'll have some more updates. And as always, when the weather turns bad, we'll be here to give it to you street by street as it gets near your home. Thanks and have a great day.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by